Hey, what's up, guys? Well, I'm out here just doing a little talk with you. I just had an experience that was a reminder that you never know who you're talking to on the internet, right? You never know who you're arguing with, I should really say. Obviously, people don't like other people in general. There's so many different people out there, different ages, different sexes, different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures. It's just so many people don't agree with so many other people on so many different levels. So naturally, when you put them all in a room, the internet, there's arguing. So, reading the comment sections, there's always some kind of argument going on. And I'm just here to kind of remind you, because I was just reminded myself that you just never know who you're arguing with. And it's never worth it. Who are you trying to convince? When you have an argument with someone, have you ever heard them say, I'm talking about the internet, not in real life, but just on the internet, I don't like you, okay, and there's name calling and stuff. Has that ever ended with, hey, you know what, you're right, I didn't really think about it like that? Rarely. I've had a couple that maybe were like that, where I just gave in. I'm like, you know what, yeah, I never thought of it like that. And the other person's shocked, absolutely shocked, like, what? No, you're supposed to be mad at me. But anyway, so I had an experience. Someone posted a ridiculous comment, just absolutely ridiculous. Made no sense. It was knife related. I'm not going to say who the person was or even what video it was on. Doesn't matter. But the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to write, respond back in somewhat of a negative way because it was so ridiculous. I kind of wanted to, set them straight, so to speak. And I clicked on their channel, and they actually had videos on it. And that's a rarity. Usually when someone's arguing, they almost never have anything to offer with, in the ways of letting you know who they are, what kind of person they are. It's usually just a blank channel, right? So anyway, so I clicked on this person's channel, and they had some videos, so I started watching. I wanted to understand where they were coming from with the ridiculous things they were saying. And as it turns out, pretty soon into watching their videos, I realized that they had some mental problems, for sure. They definitely had some mental disabilities and some issues and stuff. So, okay, makes sense. And I didn't even reply. I just let the comment stay. So it was just a reminder, I made an assumption that this was just a regular person who had a ridiculous opinion. But it turns out that they didn't have, in my opinion anyway, they didn't have the mental capacity to understand what they're even talking about. Now, you can have a channel with nothing on it, and you figure no one knows who you are, but there's always two pieces of information that you can't hide. There's two things that you know about every single person on YouTube. Their name and their avatar, right? Two bits of information, and what we do is we make assumptions based on those two things. A lot of times they're immature or purposely funny, and we assume that those are young people. For example, if there's a picture of someone mooning a car and their name is Poopy Pants 69, you might automatically assume that that's like a 13-year-old, being funny. Where that might be someone's doctor. That might be a 65-year-old guy down in Florida, and that's just what he decided to have for his avatar. Whereas you can have someone that says, Dr. Kalinsky or something, and, a picture of a medical symbol, and that could be the 13-year-old. So we all make assumptions based on those two pieces of information that we all have, because you can't have an account without having it. I mean, even if your avatar was non-existent, that's in itself information that you didn't have one, right? So we base our assumptions on people's names a lot of the times, and a lot of times people make funny screen names because guess what? They're funny. But they have no representation of that person. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you're thinking, if you're in your 20s and you think you're arguing with someone else in their 20s, it's probably not even the case. I've seen so much maturity out of young teenagers and so much immaturity out of, grown adults that you just never know who's talking. Some of the most amazing comments come from kids, and some of the most horrible comments come from adults. And of course, vice versa. A lot of times the teenagers are the ones making the dumb comments. But you just don't know. That's the whole point. You don't know. And there really is no way to know. You could click on a channel, and the channel can have, a bunch of videos of a person. it doesn't even mean the person in the videos is the actual person running the channel. We all make these assumptions. And like I said, there's no real connection between the information that we're getting and what we think it is. Anyway, just kind of a reminder that you never know who you're talking to, and if you have these arguments and stuff, there's not, I mean, you're doing it for yourself. You're not trying to convince anyone else, because it never works. No one ever is just convinced by your argument and then agrees with you. It doesn't happen. So that arguing is just to make you feel better. I'm guilty of it. I've done it too. Someone wrote something negative. I wrote something negative back. It went back and forth. I felt like I won, you know, quote unquote won. Where did I win? I won nothing. Even if I hurt the person's feelings, or even if I embarrass them, for what? What does that mean to me? They feel bad now, some stranger that I forget about a half an hour later. So I don't like doing that anymore. I haven't done that for years. I try to, if there's a negative comment, it's rare I'll delete a comment, but even if it's a negative comment that I leave there, and other people like try to defend me, which thank you, that's nice of you, it just doesn't matter. You know, some people are having a bad day. Not everyone's a troll. That's a word that gets thrown out a lot. Like, oh, this is a troll, that's a troll. You know what? Trolls, most of them are just regular, normal people, and most of them are actually pretty nice people. They're just having off days, or maybe they're watching YouTube videos drunk, or high, or who knows what, you know? You can't assume anything on the internet. I guess that's my biggest point here, is don't assume anything. Take everything with a grain of salt, right? And just, and I guess relax a little bit, because who cares? Who cares what some stranger thinks? So it's hard, because I think our natural reaction to negativity and stuff is to be defensive. You know, there's a lot of alpha males out there and people who just can't turn the other way, you know, and that's why these arguments happen. And half the time, people are saying stuff to be funny. They're not even serious. They're just having a fun time. That's why they're here. People get all different things from YouTube. Some people just watch a video to learn things. You know, oh, my cabinet broke, I got to fix it, hop on YouTube, watch a video. Other people are watching people's lives, you know, watching blog style videos because they want to see what's going on in that person's life. It's more personal, you know. And other people just like arguing. It's just a thing. People like to argue. It's fun. You know, if someone wants to ruin someone else's day by arguing with them, that's what they like. You know, there's a lot of evil in the world, and guess what? They use the internet too. Every horrible person you can possibly imagine probably watches YouTube videos. You know, they probably go on Twitter. They probably have a Facebook page, or at least comment on other ones. So just be, you know, a little more forgiving, I guess, and turn the other cheek, so to speak, because it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all you're doing is frustrating yourself. I've been so guilty of it over the years, but this recent experience was just another reminder that you can't assume anything. You can't assume the other person on that keyboard, who they are, what they're about, how they feel, how they think. You just don't know. Anyway, just a little reminder, not that you need me to tell you that. I know this is information you already know. It's just sometimes people forget it, myself included. But anyway, I am freezing. It's cold again. We had a little taste of spring here in Pennsylvania. 2 days ago it was 65, which was amazing. I wanted to do a cigar review, but my battery was dead, so I had to spend like 4 hours charging it, and then it was too dark. So I was hoping that one of these days coming up I'd be able to do one, but it got cold again. So anyway, hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. I say enjoy the video, but there's nothing really to enjoy here. It's just a reminder. That's all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Take care.